My Japanese acquaintance told me the following story, which she said she read in a newspaper. I haven't seen the newspaper, so I'm not sure if that actually happened. A group of teenage buddies, 2 boys and 2 girls, attended the same high school. One night, they were having a small party at one of the boys' house. It was after midnight, and the conversation quickly moved to terrifying stories. The pals wanted to test their courage by visiting a haunted house. They decided it would be fun to terrify themselves by exploring a creepy location in the dark. For years, they'd heard stories about an ancient abandoned school on the outskirts of town. Everyone claimed it was haunted. None of the youngsters believed in ghosts, so they intended to terrify themselves. And it appeared that the old abandoned school was the easiest spot to explore. One of the girls owned a car, so they drove to the old schoolhouse and parked outside. The 4 pals decided to investigate the school individually. The plan was for each person to walk around the school counterclockwise. It would take roughly 10 minutes to circle the school. The first person would set out, and when he returned, he would tell the others what he had observed. The second person would then take his or her turn walking around the school. The first person, a lad, set off as the other 3 teens waited by the car. After a while, they became impatient. It had been over 20 minutes and their companion still hadn't returned. After 30 minutes since the first person went, the others were impatient. The next girl chose to wander around the school looking for her pal. The other 2 waited and waited, but the girl too failed to return. The other 2 couldn't understand what was going on. They started to worry if their buddies were pulling a joke on them. It had been nearly an hour since the first person left. The boy and girl who stayed behind were really worried. The girl started crying, and the boy tried to soothe her. Eventually, the boy said, "I'll look for the others. If I don't return within 30 minutes, go immediately to the police." After he went, the girl stood alone in the cold and darkness, weeping quietly. She waited an hour, but nobody returned. She got in her car, turned the keys in the ignition, and went to the local police station. 4 police officers accompanied the girl back to school, and as morning broke, they began a hunt for the 3 missing adolescents. They couldn't find them anywhere on the school grounds at first, but then they noticed that the side door to the old, defunct school gym was open. The cops walked inside and found old rusted gym equipment. There was an unsettling silence in the air. When they looked into the gym's toilet, they discovered the missing 3 teens. They were all suspended from the ceiling by their necks. The police questioned the surviving girl, who claimed she was speaking the truth. The 3 adolescents had come to the abandoned school to test their courage. They had absolutely no cause to commit suicide. However, after weeks of attempting to solve the mystery, the police dropped the case, claiming they could not locate any evidence that the kids were murdered. Finally, the episode was explained away as a case of mass hysteria. The authorities stated that the 3 youngsters were participating in a suicide pact. Nobody in town will go near the old abandoned school after dark.